Hello friends, and welcome to the channel. This is Stormhaven Gaming, I'm John, and this is Timberborn. We are a day and a half into the current drought. We've got 4.5 days left. We have our explosives laid in up around our Badwater pool up here. We have it shut off with a whatever they're called, a dome. So it's no longer going to be producing bad water. What we're going to do is we're going to lower this exit channel here by 1. And we're going to lower this channel by 1. This will allow fresh water to feed into this pool. And it will allow the bad water, freshwater mix to go out that way. We're not going to do it yet. We're not going to do it yet. We're going to wait until the end of the drought before we do that. Because we obviously want this reservoir over here to be filling when we do it. We could probably get away with putting some sluices in at one end or the other, although we shouldn't ever get to the point where the bad water rises enough to flow back into our main reservoir over there. But it might be worth, once we've set off these explosives, to get some sluices in just in case, to stop any backflow. Yeah, that's what's happening over here. Over here by our other reservoir, we have our Earth Recultivator beginning to be built. We've got the construction set on a slightly lower priority, so it will be built as and when we have time to do it. But it is in progress. We don't currently have the resources necessary. We need 2,000 treated planks. We have about 700. We need 2,000 gears. We have about 1,000. And metal blocks, we have about 1,000 as well, and we need 1,500. So all those things are still being produced, obviously. But it's just going to take a little while to get everything up together and over here and build the recultivator. But it is in progress. Over here we are continuing to expand our windmill farm. So we've got the next strip of windmills going in there. Planks, gears and paper, so obviously that's going to affect the number of gears available for the recultivator project. So we're doing this every now and again. We'll stick in another strip. We don't really need the power. We are producing currently 7,000, or just over 7,000. I think we use at most about 3,000. So yeah, we're good for power. I have left this sluice open here as well. We really don't need to have it open, so I will close it. We've taken quite a lot of the bad water out of there. But that's okay. I think we're doing alright. I think there aren't going to be any real problems unless they're going to be caused by things that I do wrong, essentially. So I think we're on the slow cruise to completion of this series. It was mentioned that maybe we should put in bots to sort of bring down the injury rate. What I'm planning essentially is, once the recultivator is built, just building up our resources to the point where our storage is full, and then shutting down most of our industry, because we don't really need it anymore. Honestly, the only thing we need to be continuing to make is food. So that's going to be the grist mills, it's going to be the bakeries. We'll need one of these dirt extractors on at a low rate, just to provide mud for the mud pits. Other than that, there's not a huge amount we need. It's mostly going to be logs. Yeah, so farming, wood cutting, and some of the food prep is basically all we... Oh, and books as well, because they're a consumable. Yeah, I think that's all we'll really need. So I don't think we're going to need to bother with bots on this level at all, he says. That may change. But for the moment, let's spin on till the end of the drought and see how far things progress in that time. Right, I've played on basically for half a day, and there's been a bit of a change of plans. So this section over here, I've just realised, is on an overhang. And it comes down onto this raised area here. So if I get rid of all of this and let the Badwater flow this way, it's just going to splash down there and flood our chestnut planting. So I've set up some explosives down here. They're on a high priority, so they should be done relatively quickly. And up here, I've replaced the 1 tier with a 3 tier. Because we're going to need to get through this section of overhang as well, so that it all drops straight down into here. That's the plan. But once that's done, we'll set all of this off. And it's all set up, so let's set it off. We'll start down here, I think. That's probably safest, isn't it? There we go. And if we come up onto, whoops, this section here, we can do the same. There we go. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's enough in here currently to spill out this way, but that should be okay. That should direct it all into this channel here as before, and then off the map. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, I'll not set off these ones yet, as I said, because at the moment the water will flow back that way, and I want to stop that happening before we can actually control it a little bit better. So we'll wait for it to drop just a little bit more. Maybe half a tile, if it will drop that far. Yeah, it needs to come down to basically this level here. So, it's, yeah, about half a tile, maybe less. We'll see if that happens. There we go. The end of the drought has arrived. Excellent stuff. We're all good. So, we can open up... There we go. We'll open up that sluice just there. In fact... let's close it if it gets too deep there. That should help a little bit with the flooding that we've experienced in this little area here. As you can see, our beavers are working away on the Earth Recultivator because they have no other building projects to do at the moment. Yeah, we're getting there. About a quarter of the way, or approaching a quarter of the way on gears and treated planks. About a third of the way on metal blocks, so that's good. Obviously, we are rinsing our supplies. We still have over 700 metal blocks in stock, 300 treated planks, and 500 gears. So it's not too bad. I've got these two pumps shut off for the moment, so that we concentrate on drawing water from this reservoir over here. As you can see, it has dropped down far enough now. What I want to do, at least initially... Where are we? I'm going to close that sluice just there, so we can concentrate on getting these explosives set off. So, let's do that. There we go. So all of that is done. Right, I want to... What do I want to do? Where do I want to put these sluices? Probably across here is good enough, isn't it? Let's start with some steps down there. We will pop in our sluices across there. And then steps down there like that. That should be fine. And they're just going to be left on open, honestly. Yeah, I don't see any reason why we'd actually do anything other than that. They're just to stop any backflow, basically. So that should be fine. Right. We will put those on a bit of a priority, although I suspect they'll come and build those anyway, because the only other thing to build is the Recultivator, which is on a low priority. So it shouldn't take them too long to get those done at all. And then we can start funneling some of this water through here. Day 2 and our sluices are done. So let's get over here. We'll drop the terrain a little bit so we can find our sluice. There it is. And we will open that up. So hopefully that should start flowing into here. We've got these floodgates closed. So in theory, the water should flow out this way and into that bad water. Oh, there we go. We've got a bit of a rush of water coming out of there now. That's good. So yeah, that should fill up and flow along this channel through our sluices and into this area here, which will then start overflowing this way and back out on the map this way. And over time, it should dilute that bad water and get rid of it and replace it all with fresh water. That's the plan. Whether that's going to work or not, and how long it'll take, I don't know. But that's the plan. Everything else seems to be flowing okay with no problems. We've not had any flood warnings or anything. Our injury rate has dropped back down again. So, touch wood, that's going to help. Whether it will or not. I mean, that might shoot up again at any moment, honestly. But hopefully that will stay relatively low. We've only got one of the dirt excavators on, and then that's only operating at half staff. So that should help. I think we've got one of our gear workshops switched off to help build up a stock of planks, which is kind of working. Let's have a look. Okay, so we've got one of our gear workshops off. We've got one of our treated plank wood workshops off. We've got one of our explosives factories off. That's it at the moment. Yeah. It's probably worth getting our gear workshop back on again, isn't it? And honestly, our wood workshop wouldn't be a terrible idea. Yeah, alright, I am going to turn those back on again. That's probably going to, as I say, push our injury rate up a little bit. But we'll have to deal with that. We'll just have to see what happens. And as I say, once everything is built, we're not necessarily going to need all of these industrial buildings running at all. So we're not going to need any more gears, for example. The only reason we'd need all of this stuff is if we were continuing to build or building bots, because we'd need gears to build the parts to replace the breaking down bots. Don't really think I want bots. I don't think it's necessary on this map. But we'll see. Okay, I'll spin on for a few more days and we'll see how our new Badwater cleansing project goes. Okay, day 4, start of day 4. We've just had the water overflow from our freshwater reservoir into this Badwater one. So hopefully that's going to start rising and pushing the bad water out this way. My only problem, or my only slight issue, is that maybe it's going to get rid of the fresh water first rather than mixing with all this bad water. But we'll see. We'll see. We're not using this water for anything anyway. We're not going to suffer because it's not flowing out the other side of that reservoir. So it's fine as an experiment. But it looks like we're just about to break the banks here, overflow the banks here. Okay, it's taken a while, but there we go. We're starting to overflow. It looks like we've managed to not spill any anywhere, so that's good. That's a positive anyway. We've just about got enough pressure so it will all flow over the edge. That's good. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? Alright. that should be okay then. Interestingly, the bit where it flows over here looks like it might be slightly contaminated. Interesting. Presumably that's because this tile here, for example, is slightly filled at the bottom with Badwater. So it counts it as a contaminated tile. So any water in that tile is going to be equally contaminated. So, alright, that's the problem there. That's fine. Well, I say problem, it's not really a problem at all, is it? Okay, that's good. That's working. For a given value of working, that seems to be doing okay. Whether that's actually going to dilute, no idea. Very much remains to be seen, but we'll see what happens. Across here, still waiting for the lagoon to fill up enough so it'll flow out of this overflow. We do have the bottom sluice open, and we do have both of these pumps on, but that shouldn't really stop us. It looks like it is still filling, so that's good. All of this is hydrated except for this tiny little bit at the end. So that's good. That's nice and green. Oh, and incidentally, we've greened this little channel here as well as the water flows through. So that's quite nice. But back here, what I've done, if I spin around a little bit, I've put in some more farming for sunflowers down here, because that's pretty much the only thing we're not maxed out on. I mean, we've got carrots as well, but that number is increasing because, I mean, they're not eating carrots anymore. But they are still eating sunflower seeds. So I've set up a little farming area over here to harvest a few more sunflower seeds for our beavers. So that should help. That should help our happiness rating. We're up to 64. Injury is affecting it a little bit. Other than that, it's basically just this Earth Recultivator that's holding us back. Yeah, we're doing well. We're at the start of day 10. As you can see, we are making some progress with our Recultivator here. We've got half of the gears that we need. We've got 2/3 of the metal blocks, and we're approaching half of the treated planks that we need, although we are out of treated planks now. That's fine. It's okay. But it is progressing, albeit slowly. Across here, as you can see, we do have bad water spilling out, but it's very much diluted bad water that we've got coming out here. So I think I was right in that we're just basically mixing with this little bit here, and that's feeding out that way. Whether it's drawing any more from sort of deeper in, I don't know. We'll have to keep looking. As long as that stays slightly contaminated, that should be fine, although none of this is contaminated now. None of the ground around here is contaminated. So obviously it's dilute enough to not contaminate that. So I don't know that this is actually going to work. I think we might need to find another way to drain this. We'll keep it going for the moment. We'll see what happens, but I'm not holding out a huge amount of hope for this at all at the moment, so we'll have to see. Everything else seems to be going well. Food-wise, we're up to 1,000 sunflower seeds in storage now, so we're nearly at full capacity there. Carrots, yep, still slowly crawling towards full capacity. But everything else is okay. All of this looks okay. Yeah, it looks like we've got plenty of uncooked food. We've got plenty of flour of both sorts. Over here, gears, we're a bit short on those. Our books, they're still decreasing. I want to keep an eye on that. Just make sure we're not going to have any problems running out of books. Gears, metal blocks, treated planks, they're all running a little bit low. Our pine resin is starting to run a little bit lower than full, because we're obviously using it for our treated planks. Our injury rate hasn't skyrocketed. It has only increased by 1. So that's not too bad. Just keeping an eye on that. and basically just letting things chunter on by themselves. At the moment, we've got no power coming in from our windmills, so we are losing power from our batteries, but that's okay. As long as the wind eventually picks up again, that will be okay. Yeah, I guess I'll spin on till we get the drought or bad tide warning, and see how we're doing at that point. Day 13, we've got no drought or bad tide warning at the moment, but I have made a slight change to the way that this section over here works. So I have put in a short levee wall just alongside our platform there, or our overhang there rather, just to force the fresh water just to come around the corner here a little bit. So we've got the same amount of water flowing into here, but it's coming in over a shorter area. I don't know if that's okay or not. We should be alright, I think. Although that might have restricted it to, what, 4.4 cubic meters per second? But I genuinely don't know how much is flowing through here. It doesn't look like this is this water level is raising any. So it looks like all of the water that's being produced by that water source is flowing out this way. But we will keep an eye on it. The idea is to basically split up the fresh water from the release there. So that if it comes in here, hopefully it will be spreading this way out and pushing some of the bad water, the more concentrated bad water out this way. Whether that's working or not, I genuinely don't know. It doesn't even look... Oops. Oh no, we are still flowing this way, so that's okay. It is flowing out of there. Yeah, maybe... Maybe get rid of those as well, so we've got an extra corner for it to flow off of. Hopefully that will help a little bit. I don't know. I don't know because I don't know how much is being produced by that freshwater source. But hopefully pushing it around the corner here a little bit is going to help this to dilute. Whether that will or not, again, genuinely don't know. We'll just wait and see, really. Day 15, we've got 2 days until the drought arrives. As you can see, we are making progress with our recultivator. Lovely stuff. We are well over halfway in terms of gears. Nearly got all the metal blocks we need. It's just the treated planks that are holding us back at the moment. And yeah, we just don't have any, unfortunately. We do have both of our wood workshops operating. And they both have planks and pine resin in, but it takes 3 hours for them to produce one treated plank. So, yeah. Yeah, we're not getting a huge number of treated planks. So that would be 10 a day we're making at the moment. On 15 hours, it'd be 10 a day. I mean, it's not a lot, is it? There we go. A 9-day drought. That's the longest we've had for a little while, but again, it shouldn't be a problem. We have more than enough food and water to survive, even if we weren't still drawing water and producing food. So, yeah, it's not a huge issue. We haven't really progressed a huge amount on the recultivator, obviously. But that will make its way towards completion slowly, but surely. Across here, I closed these sluices up slightly early, so we've got a little bit of water held behind the sluice there. So that reservoir there is quite full. One thing I have noticed about this is now none of this is contaminating the dirt around it. As you can see, all of this, even underneath here, is uncontaminated. Yeah, and in fact some of it is green. So it's hydrated. So it looks like that water, or that bad water, is diluting. Certainly enough to stop being as much of a contamination problem. So that's something, at least. I haven't put in any more windmills at the moment. Don't think we need to just for the moment, because we are producing much more energy than we actually need. Oh, I will come down here and close that sluice, because I don't think we need the power produced by these wheels either. Okay, I will play on through the drought. Hopefully there won't be any problems. I'll probably pop back about halfway through for an update on how we're doing. But otherwise I'll just keep playing on and see where we go. It does look like our bookstores are starting to increase again. I've not done anything here at all. This is just sort of letting it run and see what happens. So hopefully we don't need to build any more printers or anything like that. We've got plenty of paper now, so we should be all right. Day 22 then. Just over halfway through. We've not made significant progress on the recultivator, honestly. But it's hardly surprising. We are waiting for all of these resources. We've only got about 20 odd metal blocks left before we're good. We've got about 560 odd gears. And what, 870 treated planks? That's going to take a while. But, you know, as I said before, we're not in any rush for it. It will be done when it gets done. Over here, we are waiting for this to evaporate, and it's taking a very long time. It seems to be taking longer to evaporate than a freshwater reservoir would, but, you know, I'm sure it's not. It just feels that way. Everything else is going fine, though. I'm not doing any building work. I'm not really doing anything apart from letting things play on. I don't think we need any more books. We're up to 170 now. Food-wise, we've maxed out everything. So we're at 13,000 food, edible food in storage. Nearly 4,000 raw food. Yeah, we're not in any problems from drought. So hunger, thirst, none of that's going to be a problem for us. So yeah, I'll just play on till the end of the drought and we'll see what happens. There we go, end of the drought. Again, absolutely fine. Nothing to worry about whatsoever. The only thing we've got to worry about really is the lack of resources for our recultivator. But we're over 1,500 for gears. Over 1,100, nearly 1,200 for treated planks. So, you know, we are making progress. It's just very, very slow progress. Okay, everything should be set up so that things return normally. All the floodgates are set normally. Over here we lost, maybe half a tile through evaporation. Could be better. Could be worse. But that's okay. Right. Let's open up these sluices again and let that water through so we can start diluting the rest of this. Okay, all I'm going to do at this point then is spin on, and I think it's probably best that we leave the episode there, honestly. There's not a lot else going on. Again, it's a bit shorter than it has been, but we are just waiting, really. So it's taking me a little bit longer to record than it would appear. I think we're about an hour and 45 minutes, coming up to 2 hours of recording time for, what, maybe half an hour of actual episode. So yeah, it's taking me a little bit longer than I would like, and as I say, not a lot is getting done. So we're just going to leave it there for this one. As I say, we are making progress. Our well-being is doing all right. Our injury rate is okay. Not too high. I'm okay with it. And again, really, it is only the Earth Recultivator that's reducing our well-being. We could put in a few more campfires and rooftop terraces and things like that. That wouldn't be an awful thing to do. In fact, we have neither over here, do we? No. All right. In which case, let's get ourselves... before we go anywhere, let's get ourselves a campfire there, and then, I'll tell you what. Let's get ourselves a rooftop terrace in there. I think we could probably do with 1 or 2 contemplation spots around here as well. So we'll pop those in. Let's get a scarecrow in there. We'll get a beaver statue in there as well. I think we've got... Yeah, we've got a beaver statue just there. We've got a scarecrow at the back there for the housing. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do give us a like and a subscribe. It really does help the channel out. And please join us next time. Till then, I've been John. This has been Timberborn. Please do take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And bye-bye.